All right, give me something.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You want something? Here's something. Here's something right now. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's excellent even.
It grates.
The something
It
that I am
certainly
giving you
grates.
right now.
All right. That's off. We've stopped the traffic on the highway.
Good luck with that.
Colin had a problem and a microphone to spare. Thomas took it up and so the podcast went to air. For weeks and months they trolled through every single DVD. They've unwrapped all the ones they can and now they're cellulose free. Now they're cellulose free.
Hello, dear listener, and welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin, and with me, as always, is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son, Thomas.
Hi, hello.
What have you been up to?
I went for a walk, and while I was on that walk, I listened to the first substantive debate of our new Tasmanian Parliament, and it went basically about as well as could be expected, given what people had said in the lead up to it. We still have a Liberal government. The Labour Party only got their own 10 votes in front of the no confidence motion, and so, as a result, they've lost, and so the leadership has spilled, and now the balance of the caucus shifts from the right to the left, and Josh Willie will be leading the party.
It's crazy times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have gotten considerably less writing done than I would have liked. But I only have myself to blame for that.
Yes,
So,
you do. But it is difficult to write whilst you're walking too.
well, yeah.
Yes, I got very little writing done. I got some photos done, but
Yeah.
very little writing done.
Well, were you trying to get any writing done?
No, not really. Sorry, the photos that I post, I do generally give a little bit of text to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yes, I'm a writer. I'm a fighter.
Well, you try to get a photo out every day, so you're working to some sort of deadline. I still don't know what mine is.
But, see, I can cheat somewhat in that I've got a bit of a stockpile now.
Yeah.
And when that starts getting low, then it sort of puts the boot into my backside to top it up. But, yeah, I've got a fairly substantial amount of photos that I've processed. But on the day of publishing is when I came up with the text for those. But I have been frustrated somewhat of late. I do all this on my phone,
Yeah.
rightly or wrongly, and Google Photos app. And I don't know whether it's the app or whether it's the other apps or what have you, but it keeps on stubbornly refusing to share to other apps, which is the way that I used to. I'd open it up in Google Photos and then share it to Facebook and share it to Instagram and all the other different places. But it would look like it would be doing it, but wouldn't open up the app that I was supposedly sending the photo to. So I then have to open up the individual apps and then try and find the photos, which is far messier and more time consuming. So I've tried clearing cache and reinstalling and uninstalling, and I don't know what's going on. Frustrating.
Also, this week, I have briefly been playing the cycling game Wheel World, currently on Xbox Game Pass, and it's okay. While a little variable, if I'm honest. There's a specific type of challenge with each of the races in which, you're supposed to beat a specific time. And sometimes, those times, you can crash a couple of times and still get in with oodles of space left over.
Just,
and others,
just for clarification, this is a cycling simulator?
Yes, not a simulator. Very arcadey.
Right.
Very arcadey.
So is it a button masher?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No.
Right.
No, just accelerate and brake. And,
Right. Okay.
And turn.
Because when you say it's very arcadey, my brain goes back to playing games on the Amiga with every time there was an Olympics, a new game would come out, and they would be button mashers. To get the swimmer to swim, you'd be bashing the buttons, and to get the runners to run, you'd be bashing the buttons, and it was a case of, and one where you had to jiggle the joystick back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it killed controllers left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
So it's not like that then?
No.
Right.
But like I was saying, some of the challenge times, very easy. One wonders why they even bothered. And some of them, it's like, okay, I guess I have to dig into the specific setup of the bike in order to work out exactly how I'm supposed to shave another 10 seconds off this time. And I don't know if I can be bothered, to be honest.
Is it an indie game or is it?
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. Well, you may go back to it, It could be a case of these things come in cycles.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else been going on with you this week?
With me? Well, I went to see my psychologist today, and I thought, right, I'm going to walk into town because it was a cold day, but a gloriously sunny day. And I thought I had plenty of time and got over the bridge, and I still had about half an hour walking distance, but still, as far as I was aware, had an hour to get there. So I had plenty of time. And then my phone buzzed and gave the notification sound of, you've got an appointment in 10 minutes. I'm thinking, what's that reminding me of? And I opened it up, and my appointment that I thought was at 11:30 was actually at 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Buckley's of getting to that, so I had to ring up and say, "Wah." And they said, we'll speak to your psychologist, and they did. And so what I thought that was 11:30, that was in fact 10:30, became a 12:30.
Right.
So it all worked out
Yeah.
well. I mean, it's still, I felt very much like I was inconveniencing people, but they were good about it. Other than that...
Oh, and then I arrived home half a minute after you, but was still first in the door.
Oh, no, the psychologist was today.
Oh.
That was today. Yeah. No, yesterday
yesterday I arrived home half a minute after you, but was still first in the door.
Yes. No, yesterday I needed to go for a walk. I need to clear the head space, and yeah, that was a good walk too. Monday I went to the pictures for the first time in absolute ages, just to sort of keep the cinema points valid, and also to take advantage of the fact that for the second time they sent me an email saying, look, we haven't seen you for a while, here, have an opportunity to buy a ticket for $10 rather than the ridiculous amount that it usually is. And I obviously didn't do that. Well, it's not obvious to anybody who's listening, but last week I received yet another one saying, look, we haven't seen you for ages and ages. We're offering you for the next 2 weeks a $7.50 adult ticket. And look, there were some options.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, the cinema company that I'm not going to name has a number of cinemas around the general locality, but they used to pretty much show all of the same movies in all of their cinemas, and it was just convenient to go to the one that was closest, but they've very much trimmed that down to, one film is showing in one cinema and another film is showing halfway across town, and the one that I really wanted to go see was out in Glenorchy, and I just couldn't be bothered. So I decided to go see Fantastic Four, First Steps, and it was all right. Yep. Certainly not the worst Marvel movie that I've seen. I don't think it was quite fun enough, though. It was a little unbalanced, but but I still enjoyed it. And for once, I actually enjoyed something that is set in a different universe than ours. So, yeah. Other than that, nothing much has been happening. So,
Yeah,
we have a movie to watch.
we do.
And I did let all the kids know what we're going to be watching, and I got bombarded with and cringes. And it took me a little while to register.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kick you if you had actually registered it last week and didn't say anything. But I'd completely forgotten that Steven Seagal is somewhat problematic in this day and age. Not even somewhat. He's very problematic.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to say why. Everyone out there who listened to last week's episode was going, what? Or,
Well, even I said, like, more recent fare, he's not been very good actor either, but...
Oh, no. And I've always known he's not a particularly talented actor. No. But as far as when this film came out, I've sort of got a bit of a nostalgic spot for, I guess, the era as far as what type of movies were coming out then. And so I was just looking for something that I didn't need to think much about. However, the kids have thrown things that I guess maybe we need to think about. Do we need to reconsider? Are we going to ban Steven Seagal from our podcast? Or do we go ahead?
Well, really, I don't think I mind either way, but it's really a question for you if you want to pull something else out.
Look, it's one of those problems of art, and when artists become problematic, and you can appreciate, I use the term art loosely, and especially loosely for the movie that we are potentially about to watch. But yes, he is problematic, but we certainly have watched films from other directors and actors and things that have not aged well. And so I would like to recognise, therefore, that yes, the main actor, and he's also one of the 9 producers of the film that we are ostensibly watching, and Steven Seagal certainly has become very, very problematic. And I am going to recognise that and go on the record as saying, yeah, very, very poor form, and for numerous reasons. However, I think we're going to go ahead and just watch it. I think because of the fact that I'm just in the mood for something that I don't need to think much about. And all that within the context of, I don't think this movie has probably aged terribly well. You will see plenty of faces that are a lot younger, and some of which haven't aged very well. It's going to be watched by someone who watched it when he was far younger, who hasn't aged terribly well. I'm stalling. Thomas, I say we go ahead.
Okay.
So therefore, what are we watching this week?
We are watching Under Siege.
Please tell our dear listener what Under Siege is ostensibly about.
A CIA agent and his mercenaries seize a marine battleship to obtain the nuclear warheads. However, the only person... This sentence doesn't need the word however. The only person aboard who can save the ship is a former Navy SEAL turned cook.
Right. Yeah, that's a really bad... Where did you pluck that one from?
Google.
Okay. That's what we're watching. Under Siege. We're going to watch it on Digny Plug, I think.
Yeah, it's that or Stan.
Yeah. And then we're going to come back and talk about it and decide whether it was ultimately worth it. But until then, we'll catch you next time. Bye.
No.
Roll the tape. we'll come back and talk about it, and so we shall talk about it. All right, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Turn to side B.
No, you can't, because the boat will sink if you do that.
Ugh.
So, what did you think?
The film is all right to good in spite of Seagal.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is very, very fortunate that there was a supporting cast that was strong enough to actually carry the bits that weren't being carried by Steven Seagal.
Now those other bits were still cheesy in places.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is certainly a B-grade movie. Mind you, it did receive 2 Academy Award nominations, so it had that going for it.
Yeah.
Not for Best Film.
No, for best sound effects editing and best sound.
Yep, and fair enough. It certainly sounded good. But it's, a cheesy cheese fest and a dumb film.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because we have watched, in episode 88 of this very podcast, we watched a film that could probably be given the same summation and starred one of the main actors in this film. Although in this film, it was played by another actor, and that is the Mighty Mo. The Missouri, which was in this film, apart from the external shots, all filmed on one of her sister ships. So back in episode 88, we reviewed Battleship.
Right.
That featured the Missouri, which I did point out then, and I will insist on pointing out again now. I have stood on the deck of.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it visited Hobart. And a mighty, mighty impressive ship. Certainly was shot well in this film. And for all that you've just said, when it finished, and look, I don't know what I'm talking about, but as far as my headspace is concerned at the moment, I was talking about another film that I've watched this week recently, which was Fantastic Four, First Steps.
Yeah.
That I said was a good enough movie. I was actually more entertained by Under Siege tonight than I was earlier in the week. Just downright entertained rather than... what am I trying to say here? I had more fun with this than I did with Fantastic Four, and I think that's more an indictment on Fantastic Four. Probably still the best film adaptation of the story of the Fantastic Four that I've seen. But yeah, I just had fun with this. For all its faults, for all its many, many, many faults. It's a rubbishy film. It's pulp. And sometimes grabbing a bit of pulp is fine. Tommy Lee Jones just had an absolute blast with this. And as did Busey. What's his first name? Gary Busey. What else is there to say?
Yeah, I don't know that I'd watch it again, but I don't think my time was wasted.
Good. Okay, good. And that is fair enough. I will watch Battleship again before I watch this.
Yeah.
And I'm about due for a rewatch of Battleship for my guilty pleasure enjoyment. But yeah, I'm glad we decided to stick with it, regardless of the person that is Steven Seagal. Yeah. I must confess that his female sidekick certainly learnt a lot of skills very quickly.
Yeah.
And that was really impressive. And she was, in fact, July.
Yes.
What was it, 89?
Yes.
Yes. from what I can tell, from what I've read, there was a bit of tension between her and him, and the question of really why. and I don't know why. I confess I asked more why with the guy who suddenly appeared probably in the last quarter or last third that was on the ship. He was studying or something. He was doing a graduate program with the Navy, I think, but didn't know how to handle a gun and didn't know this and didn't know that. But yeah, he suddenly became a character that seemed to get some screen time but hadn't been seen anywhere else during the film. But you look like you were going to say something then. No, you're looking ahead, because I think it is about time that we, if you have nothing else to say, move on.
The following segment has no title. Thank you.
We have 2 comments, both on YouTube. I'm going to start, because it's the only one with substantive comment, with M.
Hi, M.
Somewhat related anecdote. I recently got reminded of this podcast while at a car show. They had a Hot Wheels collection on display, including a few from the Fast and Furious sets. Based off the names I saw on the packaging, yeah, the film titles still get weirder. Which, with a comment from Dunkel...
Hi, Dunkel.
Will take us up to the guesses.
Yes.
Or rather, the one guess shared by both commenters.
Guess shared by both commenters. So that seems like putting eggs into baskets.
It does.
And do those eggs share the same basket as the actual answer, which was FASTFIVE?
Yes. Yes, they do.
Both Dunkel and M guessed Fast 5, which was indeed the correct answer. Well done to both of you for receiving the arbitrary points. I will show Thomas what arbitrary file name I have given this particular recording.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Possibly a little more difficult to guess than last week's.
Yes. But do give it a go.
Do.
You know.
Please.
Any file name guesses, film suggestions, any other sort of comments on the film or what we've discussed, throw it down there. Or over somewhere else.
Yeah. Sorry, my mind is still on Hot Wheels cars with the Fast and Furious theme. I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Hot Wheels cars from my childhood. You know, the Model T Ford and the... Sorry. Anyway, yes, please, let's hear from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, then. I think we shall move on then.
Pick a film for next week so we can go to bed.
And it's your turn.
You know, I thought about thinking about it, but I didn't actually think about it.
I thought about suggesting that you think about it earlier.
But you didn't do that
But
either.
I didn't either.
No.
And therefore, we're now going to have whole swathes of me twiddling my thumbs and watching the counter tick through and knowing that I'm going to have to edit it out as you contemplate what we're actually watching next week, as my stomach provides thinking music.
Why?
I don't know.
Why did I?
No idea, other than the fact that I know that I have some on various lists that would raise exactly the same question. Why is that on there? When? When did I decide that that's a film I want to watch?
No, wait, that one's on there, but I'm not feeling that's going to be too long, isn't it? Oh, well. No, we're going to go again. Go again. Yeah.
Yeah. Too much orange in the poster for that one? I remember a time where we would just shake the phone and pick a film. Then we'll watch the film next week. But we've become a little more picky, I think.
Yeah. No, we watched that, didn't we?
I've got some to do that as well, I think.
Put a pin in that. I've already said no to that. I definitely already watched that. Okay, stop hitting random and just sort of look at the list. I have come to something resembling a conclusion.
Okay.
This film is from the year 2000.
Right.
It stars Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel. Caviezel? Sure.
Huh.
It is listed under science fiction and thriller and crime.
And it's on the shelf.
It is on the shelf, yes.
So when you said Dennis Quaid, I was thinking, oh, he's gone for a disaster movie.
No.
But no, that's not what it is. Can you read me a plot synopsis?
Sure.
Okay.
When a rare phenomenon gives police officer John Sullivan the chance to speak to his father 30 years in the past...
Ah. Okay. Frequency.
It is frequency. I'll continue. He takes the opportunity to prevent his dad's tragic death. After his actions inadvertently give rise to a series of brutal murders, he and his father must find a way to fix the consequences of altering time.
Have you seen it?
I have not, no.
Right.
I think I possibly seen part of one episode of a television adaptation.
Yep. I believe I've only seen this once, and it was many, 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 many moons ago. So I don't remember much of it at all. That's cool. I'm actually looking forward to that. Yeah, next week we're watching Frequency. It's probably streaming somewhere in the frequencies. We hope that you can join us. But until then, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You have been listening to Cellulose Free. Your hosts were Colin, who produces and edits the show, and Thomas, who makes the artwork and music. Cellulose Free is recorded in the Deranged Cat Studios in scenic Tasmania, Australia. We keep track of our extensive physical media collection through My Movies, which we highly recommend. You can find links to that, as well as other places you can find us in the show notes. Cellulose Free is a Hi Hello production.
You look like you were going to say something.
No.
Then. No, you're looking ahead. Because I think it is about time that we cleared our throats. Yes, I think we should, therefore, if you have nothing else to say, move on.